Hi everyone, it is Sarah Otis and Healing Hands Holistic Therapies, and happy first day of spring. Yes, I am so happy. And my kitties want to leave. Um, if you are in the Northern Hemisphere, we are welcoming in spring today. And oh my gosh, we've all been like feeling that accumulation of energy has been building towards the spring equinox. And oh my gosh, I know I'm happy, and we've had, they've teased us some over the last few weeks with some nicer weather, warmer temps. Some days it actually feels like summer and not necessarily spring. So my biggest thing why I wanted to come on today, of course, was to say happy spring equinox and to talk on what is it you're wanting to give birth to, in the meaning of what have you been building on since we stepped into the fall autumn season, come through winter, and now we're entering spring. So during the fall and winter months is a time to go inward, to now receive the bounty of all your hard work, all your hard labor, now to enjoy it, have time for quiet, inner introspection, rest, renewal, rejuvenation, so that when spring comes along, the true new year, you are feeling more refreshed. And so everything that you had been put into motion over these last few months are now going to start to reveal the creation, the birth. And let me tell you, I, for one, and I know so many others out there have been really going through the birthing process. Some days you wonder how you still can function and go out into the world without looking like you're the most discombobulated, blown out of the water mess, is the best I can say. So I want you to sit and think about it. So since around September of 2024 till now, just kind of sit back, sit with yourself. If it helps, place a hand, one hand over your heart, one over your belly, wherever feels comfortable in your belly, whether it's like right under your rib cage, right at your belly button, or even down in the lower dantian, closer down to your pelvic region. Just take some nice deep breaths in. Settling deeper into yourself, just breathing some beautiful life within to your lungs from this new day of the new year. And just start to bring to mind some of the things that maybe were in motion as we entered the autumn season. Maybe some things you were bringing to a close, even maybe some possible upheavals. And I know in my part of the region, there was a major shakeup with um, massive flooding from Hurricane Helene that really rocked the core and foundation of so many people's lives in this region. And it has rippled out all over the world. It doesn't matter whether you were just here in this region, the effects have made an impact on so many. So, still thinking about what has taken place in your life, then you think of like world events that have occurred. So, the different flooding, the hurricanes. So, it sent out that reverberation out into the cosmos, the collective energies. And you might even feel that ripple. How did it affect you? Still keeping in mind what were you already working through? How did these global events have an impact on your journey. And then those of us, especially in the Northern Hemisphere, that have been in the autumn, winter, we've had some crazy weather, a lot of storms, a lot of cold. And when it's really cold outside and there's a lot of snow, you're inside trying to stay warm. So there's that quiet time to really go inward. That's the whole point of the seasons, is to go within to find the answers to birth the new when the new year starts today. So keep bringing these things into mind and even start to think about maybe what you were trying to create during the time of non-creation, if that makes sense. Because during those months, that's not when you set big things in motion. Hence, where the collective celebrates New Year's on January 1st. You are dead in the middle of the winter season when you aren't planting seeds and expecting some beautiful crop or flower to blossom, because that is the time when it is cold. You need to be inside, going inside your being to tend to the inner side of you. But our collective wants to push us to create, work hard, exercise, lose weight, to prepare for the whole collective programming of you must be thin for the summer season so that you can be out in your bathing suit and looking perfect. Can you see how there's so much of this static and distractions out here in the collective that's all about programming, keeping up with the Joneses, comparing yourself to others and to other things. And if you don't have this, and oh, you must not be worthy or a good person, or if, oh, I can't obtain that, then I'm stupid, whatever it may be, those stories all get triggered by this collective programming that they try to keep us literally in this construct of what feels like a box or a cage. That's on purpose because you're easier to mold and control. So I'm wanting you to break out the barriers. There are no barriers. It's all open possibilities. And the thing is, when you are fighting the constructs that hold us and cage us in, it will literally feel like you're beating your head against a wall. And even when you have to go out and try to deal with people, they'll look at you like you're going walk, 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 and you may even be clucking like a chicken. And they're looking at you so confused, and you're just like, oh my goodness, because that's you were trying to change the mold of the constructs of the mold of the square peg box that we're in. And those people are so stuck in the programming and the routines that when you come in trying to step outside of the box, they can't see or hear you. And many times they'll become quite hostile with you. I've been dealing with that. So as more truths come to light about our existence on this planet and the collective energies, how programmed we are, how actually restricted we are, you'll realize when you can step out of that, put your devices down, get out in nature, connect with nature, things will start to make sense. I know if I am stressed and having a lot going on, if I stay inside all times, it will only perpetuate those states of being. Sometimes all it takes is me literally going straight outside and sitting, whether the sun is shining or not, but feeling the breeze, pass over my body. Even if it's cold, I've bundled up and I've gone out, and if I can just sit there for a few minutes, put my feet on the ground, and it's so much better if you can actually put your bare feet on the ground and feel the pulse and the connection between you and Mother Earth. It makes an impact. And then you can come in and feel like you're very clear headed, almost like someone went in there with the broom and swept out the cobwebs. Then, if you have to step back into the constructs of this life they have us in, you feel like you're a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess the best thing I could say is you feel prepared. And that inner guidance is coming through to help guide you so that you can get what you need within the constructs of the programmed grid they have us in without becoming part of it. I know a lot of this is like, what is she talking about? Um, Sorry, I had several things I wanted to say, trying to figure out which one first. So if you bring into mind, what have you been dealing with over these last few months? Do you want to continue that? I would say there's maybe a few of you, yes, but for the most part, everybody's going to be like, heck no, I'm ready to move forward, move on, say goodbye. Are you ready? Because I just share a brief snippet. Here I thought things, that the winter months were going really good for me. Then come January, we had a huge family emergency that literally kicked off the dominoes. And the dominoes have continued to boom, boom. Let me get it back over here. Boom. They're all falling. And just when we think that the dominoes course is stopped, oh my God, it goes in a whole nother direction. And when something like that happens, it literally imploded any foundation that myself and my family and everyone that was connected to the situation, it imploded every one of ours foundations. Took us on a massive crash course. I felt like it took us on every roller coaster on this planet all at the same time. So, one roller coaster may be going this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. But it was all happening. So you literally felt like you were being jerked and spun and twisted upside down, inside out, all at once. All the while, you're trying to stay happy and perfect in the constructs of the programming grid that they have us in. Stay sane and stay happy and healthy and afloat. When you're in situations like that, it is not possible. But this construct they have us in, they want us to stay perfectly content, following the model of the programming they have instilled in it. And so the more I would try to shift out of it, just banging the head against the wall, banging the head against the wall, which in and of itself causes all kinds of additional traumas because you are working within the constructs of institutions and organizations and corporations that don't want you to break out to true freedom. So if they can keep you stuck, they don't care what it's going to do to you. You have to find that strength within yourself to say, you know what? F this. I'm not going to follow the ducks, the leader of where they literally would lead us straight off a cliff. You have to be willing to decide, hey, I'm going to create my own path. I'm going to go paint my whole new picture of what I need, not what I want, what I need. And this is something I used to tell my students when I was living and teaching in northern India, the monks. We used to have discussions all the time. I would even create on the big chalkboard 2 categories: the things you are wanting and the things that you need, and trying to explain to them, even though many of them, it was very same, they would say, ma'am, it's same, no difference. I'm like, no, guys, there is a big difference between needs and wants. So just to kind of give an example, you need a toothbrush, you need clothes, you need shoes, you need a jumper, a jacket. That's, they call it jumpers. Um, you need food. Okay. Now, wants, you want vacation, you want a nice car, you want money, you want a girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, a spouse, wife, you want children, you want animals in your household, but those aren't necessary needs, they're wants. But until you take care of all your needs, even if your wants in your life appeared, it will be as if they're invisible, because even if you get them, it still won't bring you the happiness that you're seeking, because your needs category has not been met. Does that make sense? So during this implosion time, I myself have had to step back and make myself the needs and the wants categories, because there's a lot of things I want for myself in my life to feel safe and to feel grounded and balanced. But if I don't take care of all the urgent needs, the wants are, they would mean nothing to me if they actually appeared in my life. And being a, my main focus with clients is trauma, helping people move through the trauma. Yeah, I've had to use all my own tools because I've had to been working through my own upheaval and all the trauma that was unearthed during this process. And it just felt like every trauma I have ever experienced in my life all came back all at once. So not only was my foundation imploded because of the family emergency, it triggered all the old trauma, even trauma that I have already healed and dealt with. There was a new aspect that rose up to the surface once we destroyed the foundation, all to actually help me. But in the times when it's you're deep in it, it feels like it's against you, it's not for you, you feel like the world is against you. But actuality is the upheaval and the revisitation of the old traumas, even if they had been processed and healed, was to show you how far you have come. And even when I felt like I wasn't holding it together or couldn't hold it together, I had those people on the outside that I trusted, and I felt safe with their interactions to tell me that, Sarah, you actually really got this. It's just your old versioning, that you're the old version of you, whether who knows what span in your lifetime, is doing that little chatter in your head, like you're not good enough, you're not worthy, you're stupid, you're incompetent, whatever the word is. You've got to find that strength within yourself to be like, hey, you're not driving this show anymore. I am. And what's the word I want to use? Your ticket's expired. Your entry ticket expired a long time ago. Get out once and for all. Market complete, and get rid of it. So you can only imagine when you've got, I'm getting ready to turn 46, so I've got 46 years worth of trauma that all blew up in my face like a volcano, to the point where not only did it rock my physical, mental, and emotional stability, but my physical stability in the sense where I live, my work, my income, ability to buy food, to pay the rent, all of it. And so I've had to find resources on the outside to help, because sometimes, we can't find the answers. And then when you go seeking the answers and you're just still beating your head against the wall, you've got to stop, take a breath, regroup, step back, see it from a bigger vantage point. Be the fly on the wall up here in the corner of the room. Look down at the situation as it's playing out so that you can see. You may feel about this big, tiny. I mean, you can barely see the hole between my finger, but really, there's so much out there that's there to support you, but you can't see it when you're in it. Okay. And if you ever think about it, in our mind, the constructs typically at the end of the calendar year for the collective going into the end of December, it's all that wrapping up of things, closing out the calendar year, your taxes, your schooling, whatever it be. So even now, we were leading up to the end of the real year, and we just started the first day of the new year. Could you feel that that siphon, that suction, the last, at least the last 6 weeks, or I would even say since January? But it has definitely tick, 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 tick to the point where it's like, okay, I'm going to lose my cookies if we can't find some balance. You may have seen an uptick in your health situation, pain, sicknesses, financial issues, relationship problems, job problems. Hold on. Just sit and think about that a minute. So sometimes we don't really think about all these things, because when life is happening and you're still having to try to, put food on the table for your children and your family, go to work, try to find time for sleep, try to go do the shopping, la 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 la. We kind of get lost, which is all on purpose. They try to take us away from ourselves. So I'm telling you to push all the distractions out of the way and come back to you. Come back here. What have you noticed has been massively upticked over the last 6 weeks? How does it connect to what's been going on since the start of September? Sit and think about that for a minute. And did you feel like it was happening to you, or something was happening for you? Because the to you and the for you kind of falls like the needs and the wants. If it's happening to you, you could almost flip it like you're too focused on the wants. If it's happening for you, you're allowing your needs to be met by the grace of God's will and hand for you. You're trusting and having faith and willing to step back and trying to force and control the wants in your life, that you can't see that your needs are being met. The blessings are unfolding in a bounty, but we have such blinders on that we can't see it. And they get us to where we can't feel. They keep us so distracted with these devices, and that's on purpose. If you sit and just look around, what are most people doing? I mean, there's this one girl who walks past where I live. Every time I try to leave, she just walks right in front of me, never even looks. I mean, one day, right at her. I saw her coming, but she did not once look up from her program device to realize she was about to be run over. And then there was one day she did look, she briefly looked at me, but it didn't register because she was so sucked into her device that seeing me did not register because she was so focused on this. Distractions take you away from you, all on purpose. And another thing is, if you're out in nature, why aren't you soaking it up, observing, looking at the birds, the trees, the animals? Why are you so mesmerized by what the hell's going on in this? But that's where they have driven society. So you have to make that decision for yourself. Are you willing to put the distractions aside? Tune out the all the time and take care of you. Those are the people I'm here to work with, are the ones that are willing to put everything else aside and focus on taking care of themselves. Because when you do, you will be the strongest, most resilient person you could ever be. And you can walk through fire like I have been doing and come out the other side and still be vibrant and ready to face the challenges no matter what they are. They can throw them at you, but they're not going to, knock you off. You may feel a little boom, but you're still standing strong. And that's what we need as a society, people that can take care of themselves, because they always tell us put our own oxygen mask on before you help others. So that's part of it. It's time for each of you to put your own oxygen mask on, remove the distractions and the distortions that they are creating for you, break out of the construct, and be willing to redirect your life in a way that will actually be the best direction you've ever taken. But you have to do it yourself. No one else can do it for you. So I could talk for hours. I get excited about this, but I wanted to come on and share an Anahata Code to help us as we step into the new year and welcome in spring. So I went into the category and I asked what would best assist each of us on this first day of spring to help birth the creation that we've been working so hard and working through come into fruition, so we can start to see the evidence of all of our hard work. So out of all the categories, it came out of the flower essence category, and it was, I moved, sorry, my screen moved. It was the Bush Gardenia. So let me find my screen, hold on. So when I look up about the Bush Gardenia, it falls in the category of relationships. So, whoops, work over here. So it's a renewing, it's an essence that's here to renew our passion and our interest in our relationships. And the first relationship I want you to be thinking about is the one you have with yourself. Because if you are not in a relationship with yourself, a healthy one, every relationship in your outside world will always have some kind of flaw. They will each mirror and match something that you're not taking care of within yourself. So if you sit and think about all your external relationships, you get triggered from this trauma, you get triggered from that trauma, you get triggered from this person reminds you of this, that job reminds you of this. Those are all mirrors trying to help you to heal within. So I love how the first thing it says, it's renewing your passion and your interest in you. Because when you take care of you, these external relationships will take care of themselves. And then you'll actually start to attract in the ones that are truly healthy. It says it helps draw together those who are moving away from one another, busy in their own world, such as career, life, etc. And as if this essence helps to turn the individual's head to reconnect, to see what their partner is doing and feeling, and to discover what is needed to bring them back together. So, once again, back to you have all these people or situations or experiences or jobs, whatever in your life, they're all working to try their best to reconnect you back to you so you can go within, heal those traumas, whether they're from this lifetime or they're generational, they're from previous lifetimes, whatever it be. We're here to right the wrongs. And I thought this was perfect. So that the typical condition why this essence would be warranted: stale relationships, self-aware, unaware. The positive outcome would be passion, renews interests, and improves communication. And that's the biggest thing. Communication in the over the whole, oh my gosh, in the collective is a nightmare. It's like no one is listening. Like we said, they are so disconnected that if you ask them something, it's like, what? Like I said, you're banging your head against the wall again. Let me see if there's any other things I want to share on this one. Let's see. Okay, so I like this one. Let me just read. So it's talking about the healing properties of this is for sorting through the webs of relationships, ties, and patterns, releasing pain and suffering from deep within. So it says it will assist with sorting through your perceptions, views, or patterns that may have been taken on board from past relationships. And I will even add in past experiences and traumas, offering opportunities to choose those you wish to leave behind. Now, so think back to what I had you bring to mind, what's been occurring over the last, what is it, September, October, November, December, June? The last 7 months. What has been occurring in your life? And then how had the accelerator been pushed over the last 6 weeks? That's what is being pushed for you to take the opportunity now to choose what you want to leave behind and say, stamped complete. See what else it wants me to read. So this is kind of what I was already saying. It says when you look closely at the gardenia flower and its beauty, you might like to see it as being a reflection of your inner beauty, of your soul blossoming in nature. Both you and the flower hold divinity within, and both are a reflection of the Creator. Nature surrounds us with beauty visually and energetically, and being within the essence of nature can help bring calm and balance. It has the ability to assist with reaching deep within the spirit of you. Old issues from times gone by may be lifted up from deep within to be transcended, transmuted, and set forth to the light. The fragrance can sometimes be overpowering, as can the influence of family members or relationships and assistive patterns with which bind relationships together. Be they be it with siblings, parents, spouses, close friends, or colleagues. We often choose to come into incarnation with these people to complete unfinished business from previous lifetime experiences and to learn from similar experiences in this incarnation. This essence is going to support and assist with clarifying irritations or painful situations associated emotions that may have resurfaced recently. Now, this I just found this website. It is exactly everything I just said. In choosing to release these emotions with love and forgiveness, and I'm going to say stamping them complete, you are choosing freedom by detachment from similar situations arising again. It is important also to ask forgiveness for your own part in these experiences and to forgive others as well. This can all be done on an inner level and does not necessarily need to be faced, not necessarily needed to be done in a face-to-face process. Situations involving people who have already left incarnation could also be dealt with in this way. Let love be the answer to your prayers and within relationships, regardless of the outcome of particular past situations. In allowing feelings of blame, resentment, or anger to dissipate, underlying sadness will most likely rise to the surface to be released and forgiven. This essence has the wonderful opportunity and ability to awaken a deep compassion within you and clarity to see joyful patterns within relationships, those which make your heart sing. So she's got affirmations on here. I am now free from family ties and patterns that no longer serve me. I release all past pain and suffering from deep within. My heart sings with joyful compassion and love. You could choose for family member, friend, group, or humanity. So this website I'm taking it from is Nature's Flower of Life. So her website is flowersforhealing.com, and then you just search Gardenia. And she has an essence you can buy, and it is mixed with the malachite crystal, which the malachite edition is a stone of transformation, assisting in changing situations and for the transfer of sacred information leading to spiritual evolution. It assists in clearing and activating all chakras, as well as stimulating the heart and throat chakras, clarifying emotions and the causes of specific conditions. Examples such as disorders of the body, mind, and spirit. It releases unconscious negative experiences. It is an equalizing and balancing agent, stimulates instinctive and intuitive reasonings. I think it is perfect for the asking. I don't know about you. So let's get this code installed. Let me get it back for here. So if you're new to the Anahata codes, don't know what I'm talking about, all you need to do is sit there and listen and give permission to receive. So when I am calling in the code, I put my left palm up facing the sky or the ceiling, and I normally just rest it on my leg. Your right hand is going to go over the center of the chest, over your heart. So this is your receiving hand. Your left energy is coming in. It's channeling through to this arm. And where are we directing it? To the heart. The Anahata. That is the Sanskrit for heart. So I will repeat the number sequence 6 times. After the 6th time, I will place my left hand on top of my right hand and we'll have a closing. Now, if I mess up at all during the process, I have to start all over. So typically, if I get messed up, it's because there's some kind of distortion or something fighting us in the process, if that makes sense, okay? So just get quiet and centered. And if you wish to receive this, just simply give permission to receive. We ask for, accept, align with, and hold this Anahata code. With gratitude, we choose to align with the Gardenia Flower Essence, the Bush Gardenia Flower Essence. 357-298-3674. 357-298-3674. 357-298-3674. 357-298-3674. 357-298-3674. 357-298-3674. 357-298-3674. Left palm over your right. Allow this beautiful energy from this Bush Gardenia code to go deep within your being to reconnect you to your inner self, to your inner child, to your heart, so that reconnection can take place, restoring your safety, your sense of safety, and your sense of knowing. Allowing the reconnection to take place, building and strengthening your foundation from within so that the external distractions have no sway because your inner world is strong, victorious, and ready to take on the world. Hopefully, this has helped. And welcome, spring. Yay! Go into the world, take in the beauty. As I know in my region, they are announcing all the tulips that are in bloom, daffodils, the bluebells, and many other beautiful God-given bounty that is showing its evidence of all the hard work. And even though my region was just flatlined by Hurricane Helene and the flooding, the evidence of the rebirth is evident everywhere. And it's glorious and it's beautiful. Be willing to step out of the constructs of the program collective. Go within, reconnect with God's creation, and watch how your life will change for the better. Until next time, many blessings, much love, and happy spring. Much love, you all. Reach out if you are interested in a one-on-one session. As we step into spring, I am going to be putting out some offers to help me in my external world step into the new things. But I've got to get over the hiccups that have as I rebuild my foundation. So I will be putting out some offers of some deep discounts on readings and one-on-ones. Take advantage. Let's birth together and see you on the other side. Take care.